Yeah, man. Some people earn the rank of demon. They've surpassed being called people anymore. You just have to call them a demon. I've been reading this book lately. I put it off for a long time because I knew it was going to get rough. I remember the first time I watched Roots when I was a kid. So I was young. I didn't know anything about slavery up to that point until I watched that movie. I'm going to tell you, it burned my soul. It clutched my heart, man, and it choked me. Watching that show, because I couldn't believe that people could be so cruel. It just resonates with your ancestors, man. The wail from inside, trust me. But yeah, I'm reading this book. It's called The Delectable Negro. It talks about cannibalism of the slave masters towards the Negroes, symbolically and literal cannibalism. I thought to myself, you know what? I knew it was rough, but I didn't know it got that rough. It's rough enough, but not that rough. I was like, damn. So I've put it off for a long time, man. So I've decided to read it. I decided to read this book. So I just want to share this little story with you, because up until now, you know, there's still a lot of people that don't know what happened to us. They still don't know up until now. You get a lot of people like today when there's a call for reparations and whatnot, and it's like, oh, get over it, was in the past, da 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 da. But things that are horrific, they embed themselves deep in the psyche, and they get passed on generationally. People fail to acknowledge this. They don't want to acknowledge it. It damages people, man. It's very, very traumatic. People just don't understand. But I'm waffling on. So there's this little instance of this slave master from the southern states in America. Something Lewis. One of them haughty-taughty slave masters where they go to balls and honours everything within their life, and they've got to keep up appearances and all the rest of it. And the long story short, he doesn't like the fact of this one rebellious slave that keeps on running away. Because, you know, he doesn't like to get randomly whipped. You know, it's like, how outrageous of this slave that doesn't like to get randomly whipped and beaten up. I mean, everyone else is cool with it. What's wrong with this guy? So we need to teach him a lesson. So anyway, he sends him on an errand and gives him this very expensive ornate water pitcher. Lo and behold, George, which was his name, he drops it, smashes to smithereens. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. So the slave master gathers all of the slaves around into this big, call it a Negro house. Apprehends George, gets his own younger brother and a few others to tie him down onto this stake, bolts the door. Then he picks up an axe and chops his feet off at the ankles. Now obviously he's withering around in pain. Then he proceeds to give the rest of the slaves a prolonged lecture on how it's how it's vexing to be running away all the time and not to do it, because this is what's in store for you if you do it again. That's not it. He chops his lower legs off at the knees. By this time, George is in agony. He's basically calling out for him just to end it. It's too much for him. Just chop his head off. My man gives another lecture. Instills fear in the rest of the slave population. Gets his feet and his legs, puts it on the fire, so he's cooking them in front of George's eyes, his family members, the rest of everybody else. Chops his hands off, another lecture. So he's prolonging this, he's longing it out, because he's had enough of this unruly slave. How dare he want his God-given right of freedom? Who does he think he is? Anyway, chops his arms into pieces. Then at the end, chops his head off, puts his torso and his head into the fire, gives another prolonged lecture. So you can imagine the terror of everybody. That's going into the women, going into the children, going into the pregnant women. That fear's going into the fetuses, who are going to come out all afraid and fearful because of what the mothers are witnessing and putting into the child. This is like a scene out of The Hostel. This is just one of many in the book. But I thought I'd share that with you. It's not a very nice thing to share, but like I say, I'm just putting it out there because a lot of young people won't know anything about this. A lot of young people aren't aware of slavery full stop, which I find very surprising. Then shortly after, there was an earthquake, which raised the house to the ground and put out the fire eventually, because he wanted the fire to consume the bones as well. He just wanted the ultimate annihilation of this dude. He hated him so much. They had the audacity to keep on wanting to leave him. He wanted to leave his master. That was out of the question. This man was insane. He thought he was a dignitary. He was absolutely insane. Like I said, a demon. Walking around in human clothing. And if the further you go into this book, it gets more horrifying. But yeah, it's called a Delectable Negro. Anyone out there who wants to go more into depth into this, but brace yourselves.